Rae.
And I'm Jason.
And we're here with Kyle and Olivia from Drivin and Vibin.
What's up?
Hey guys. So we're actually out boondocking with them. Well, they are technically showing us the ropes and making sure we don't die for our first experience. But they let us do this little Q&A where we could poll our audience. And I really wanted people to ask some hard-hitting questions. So we got some funny ones for you at the end. They don't know these questions, so these are off-the-cuff answers from them. So you get to see the real Drivin and Vibin.
I'm looking forward to hearing what all these questions are.
Good, good. Well, let's dive right in. We'll do the serious ones first.
Okay.
Well, RV related. All right, so Tom Cooper asked, how frustrating has it been to be stuck working on the Argosy instead of being on the road?
Super
Most
frustrating.
Yes, like it has just slowly drained us of like our spirit, I think.
We've
for
learned
sure.
a lot. It's always a new project, so that keeps it fresh, but it also sometimes moves super slowly.
Yeah, it's mainly during those slow times when we have lots of projects to do. We're pretty distracted and pretty into what we're doing, but when then there's those times where like we're waiting on something to get done and it's kind of out of our control, then it's just like hard to be stationary in a 16-foot camper. It feels a lot better when the whole world is our backyard and we have the freedom to move as we want to. We can escape the rain, so we've just been sitting in the rain for months and months on end, and just the mud and the muck and humidity has really gotten to us, so it's nice to be out here in the desert drying out.
Yeah, for sure. So he had a follow-up question where he'd asked, going out to Quartzsite, did you camp in any places with the fiber stream that maybe you would see if the Argosy would fit for the future?
Almost everywhere we've camped with the fiber stream, I would feel safe taking the Argosy.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a few exceptions that were kind of sketchy in the fiber stream that we're like, we don't know if we can make it, but let's try it. We wouldn't go to those places, but more often than not, yeah, the Argosy's not huge either. It's going to be a considerable upgrade for us, but it's still only 24 feet long. And we lifted it about 3 or 4 inches, so it's got a pretty good clearance so that
Nice.
we can take it boondocking and go kind of off the beaten path.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, Jim Moore wants to know, what truck are you looking at to pull that Argosy?
Something like a Ford F-150 or a Chevy 1500, I guess.
Yeah. We wouldn't be against the right deal on a diesel just because it would last forever, but it would be a bit overkill. The Argosy's probably only going to weigh around 5,000 pounds when it's all said and done, so we don't need a whole lot, but definitely something bigger than the Ranger.
All right, so following up, Carla David Jenkins asks, how do you handle all that dust out in the desert? Then again, how about all those mosquitoes in the wetland areas?
Well, the worst thing to handle is the rain. I can deal with anything except rain. But the dust, pretty simple, I guess.
Yeah, it's not too bad unless there's like a pretty bad like windstorm, then it'll kick up a lot of dust, but more often than not, like just like some wet wipes come in handy, you know, but
Yeah, in dust,
not too big of a deal.
a layer of dust almost makes me feel clean. It's like
Soaking up all
yeah,
your sweat.
yeah,
and oil.
exactly. It's like I just got freshly powdered.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, our quality of hygiene has gone way down when you're out boondocking.
Sand is worse than dust, like beach.
Oh yeah,
beach
I
camping and stuff like
definitely like dust is so fine that you don't really feel it or
Yeah.
see it unless you have like dark clothing on. But sand, it's like the
pretty bad.
bane of my existence. Like there's sand everywhere and river tracks it into the bed. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so then moving on to Instagram, Sexy Food Therapy asked, do you have any tips for getting the best Wi-Fi on the road?
Lots of different cell providers. You know, first off, when people say Wi-Fi, I never know what they mean because cellular internet and Wi-Fi are two different things. So as far as cellular internet goes, having multiple plans and multiple carriers.
yeah, that's what we primarily use is cellular data because we're not in range of Wi-Fi typically. That's something you'd find at a house or at a business or coffee shop.
Or campground.
Or
even.
campground. But in most cases we're using our own data, and we have multiple different hotspots. We've had an AT&T hotspot and a T-Mobile hotspot, some variation. Verizon and AT&T are usually the most popular, and then a great cell booster. If you actually mean like real like Wi-Fi, then there's also Wi-Fi boosters available. We haven't used ours a whole lot.
Yeah, so limited. And we just don't trust other people's Wi-Fi. We'd rather supply our own cellular internet and use that instead.
And it's usually a lot slower too, because there's more people on it, especially like at a coffee shop or something like that.
But a WeBoost Drive Sleek can come in handy. It's only like $199. They'll link it below in the comment section. So if you're interested in good cellular booster, check it out.
I like that answer.
Definitely. So, Sexy Food Therapy also wants to know, how much do you spend a month living on the road? I realize there are variables.
Totally. And we used to do budgets and show our expenses almost our whole first year of travel, where we averaged probably between like $1,700 and $2,300 a month. Now it's much higher. I would say much higher. Now it's higher.
Maybe like $3,000 a month.
Exactly.
You know, which is still like very like frugal and minimal, but we aren't like daily tracking each dollar we spend. That was a big thing when we hit the road, just wanting to know what we could do this lifestyle for, and we had like a variable income, because with our Etsy shop some months would be great, some wouldn't be as good, so it was always kind of fluctuating, so we needed to be prepared for that. And now we have enough wiggle room that we feel like we don't have to write down every single dollar, but we wanted to kind of share those reports just to say like, we did it for like this amount, so you can probably do it for this or more, or maybe even less if you're like solo and don't have a pet.
Were those blog articles or YouTube videos?
They were, all of them were blog articles, and some of them were YouTube videos.
Yeah, okay. Well, I can link some of those blogs
Oh
if people want to go.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah, see our old videos.
Yeah.
How polished we
Yeah.
weren't.
Yes. You were cute. You guys are cute. You're still cute.
We were hippies that y'all were timid about meeting.
Timid because we thought we were going to be mean and the aggressor, but you guys are on our level.
We're pretty aggressive.
You're aggressive. Behind the scenes.
Go getter.
Yeah, go
That's
getters.
what I say.
That's the best term. I'll throw in a fun one before we get to a couple more RV ones, but the RV Outlaws want to know, who's the better half?
Oh,
River.
yeah. The better third.
Yeah.
Definitely River. I think so. It's a good answer. Yeah. I feel like River is like the great diffuser of like our like RV life. So like we just need a little like buffer sometimes. It's a small space, and
It's always
River brings
easy
the
to
love.
love on River.
yeah. And honestly, I talk to River probably more than I talk to Kyle.
And she probably talks back to you more.
I speak for her, so
I
we
get
have great
it.
conversations by myself.
I think that's an RV thing, though, not just a you thing, because Carmen definitely diffuses tension between us as well, and I'm constantly asking her what she's doing and what she's up to. And Jason's like, "Are you talking to me?" I'm like, nope, don't care what you're doing. What's the dog up to?
Open to the Road asks, how happy are you to be taking a break from your build for some travel?
All right, so we're happy to be on the road. I would hardly call this a break, though. It's been fun and it's been a good time, but it has been nonstop.
It's been a bit of a whirlwind because we went straight from Alabama to Arizona in 5 days, and there was like some 10-hour days in there that were just so hard. And then we got here, we had a little tiny bit of downtime, and then it was the Escapers Bash, and we were just like going nonstop for a week of activities and fun, and that was great. And now we're kind of all winding down a little bit, but then we're about to have to head back to Alabama, so it's a little bit faster than we would prefer to travel. But it's definitely been like a much needed break where we just don't think about renovations and we feel kind of in our rhythm and in our element again. So it's a good reminder and motivator to get back and get done so we can move in and get back out on the road.
Yeah. So you're going to think this is a joke because of the fake comment you submitted, but someone really asked this. Are they really as cool as they look? And it's cool with a K.
Oh,
and this
very
is from
cool.
Seymour Trails.
I don't even know if we can answer this.
I think
I
we can
think
answer
I'm decently cool, but I don't know. You tell us.
Yeah, I have very cool.
I think that they are much cooler than they look. They are very professional and they have great videos and they provide so much value, but hanging out with you guys in person, you're pretty cool.
Well, thank you.
Cooler than us.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Doubtful.
know.
Yeah.
We're from Alabama, so we can't max out. It's like Alabama holds us back.
Like that's
For being cool.
self-deprecating.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
no offense to anyone who's from Alabama.
Yeah, but we can only be so cool, all right?
We're not
Yeah,
from
but-
like LA like you
Exactly.
guys.
No, but now we're almost embarrassed to say we're from LA because people make fun of us for liking avocado toast and saying like all the time and putting the in front of the freeway names.
Oh, it sounds
Okay,
cool.
we love
yeah.
avocado
Yeah.
toast too.
Yeah.
But I mean, we get made fun of too in Alabama. There's not many vegans in Alabama, so they're like,
True.
what's wrong with you?
Actually, speaking of vegan, that leads me into one of the questions that we received. And the glamping guys asked, what's your favorite food?
Favorite food?
I have so many. Like, it's so hard to choose.
One of my recent favorites is Chipotle. As we're just talking
Favorite,
about
like-
basic food.
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you get?
I get the, what do you call that? What's the protein I get?
Sofritas.
Sofritas,
Okay.
yeah. Just,
Do you like that? I haven't tried it.
I love it, yeah.
It's good.
Mhm. And I love their chips. The lime.
Oh yeah, the
And
lime.
the salt.
Yes.
It's perfect.
So, I mean, Chipotle is good, but it's not my, like, all-time favorite. I mean, I don't know. I can't, like, choose. I, like, love Southern food and, like, soul food, and that sounds weird, but it's like I kind of recreate those things vegan. So like I love things like collard greens and cornbread and like lima beans and black-eyed peas and like just like chilies and like really like hearty meals that just make me like remember like my childhood and like cooking with my grandmother growing up.
You have to make us some of that food then.
I will.
I'm struggling.
Yeah, we
I
make
would-
burrito bowls every day, and then we
That's
go to
pretty good.
Chipotle when we're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
We actually haven't said this in any of our other videos, but we are mostly vegetarian.
Well, we're vegetarian. We're mostly
We're
vegan.
mostly plant-based.
Yeah.
All right, coming out of that closet.
We finally said it. It's been over a year. But it has been struggle city when I'm craving stuff to try and replicate it.
Yeah, I think that was definitely the hardest transition for me is like growing up learning how to cook. I learned how to cook everything a very certain way. But once I realized like how easy it was to make those substitutions in for my old favorites, I could recreate the same flavor profiles and wasn't really missing anything. Plus, if you Google anything like vegan lasagna, vegan macaroni and cheese, you will find a recipe.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that's where I got hurt, was I was trying to recreate mac and cheese and I used like nutritional yeast. Ugh.
Oh,
Like,
no.
I love it.
Olivia
I
puts it on
hate
everything.
nutritional
I
yeast.
put it in
Oh
everything.
my God.
So what we had today, right before we came over here, I love like a chicken salad sandwich or tuna salad sandwich.
Yeah.
So what Olivia makes in substitution is a chickpea salad sandwich.
Okay.
So it is so good.
Yeah,
It's
so,
yeah.
like,
Okay.
instead of, like, mayo and stuff, we use, like, avocado as the binder. And we still put, like, the pickles and mustard and all of that stuff. And you can use vegan mayo, too.
Mhm.
And then it, like, tastes the same to me. It's
Feels the
just slightly
same,
different
yeah.
texture, you know.
Oh, that feels the same too.
But I do have a recipe for, like, a really good, like, cheesy, creamy sauce
Okay.
that is a
Okay.
good
Pretty
substitute with, like,
Okay.
cauliflower.
Don't tease
It's
us.
really
you can't
and
compete with
cashews.
cheese. Sorry.
Yeah. No, we've learned that, but that's fine. We've
Yeah.
had some good vegan mac and cheese at like food trucks and stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm always like, how did you do this? Because this
Yeah.
tastes good
That's
enough.
true.
That's the
That's
thing,
true.
like, you
Yeah.
miss the most is cheese, right?
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
hardest thing to give up. So there's 500 billion different ways to try and, like, recreate
Yeah.
some semblance of them. Some are better than others.
Yeah.
We've definitely had a few fails.
And they're all
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
very
Yeah.
expensive. Cashews,
Mm.
guys, are outrageous.
True.
They make
True.
the best sauces.
Oh my goodness. Who would have known that the glamping guy's favorite food question would have been the longest
I know,
answer in
right?
this whole video? Well, they did ask a couple more, so this should be easy. Toilet paper, over or under? Like on the
all
wall.
right. So we live a different life than most people. Toilet roll sitting on top of whatever's in front of us.
Yes.
It is
Okay.
never
Our
on.
toilet paper holder has gotten knocked off by Kyle's knee.
Oh, it hurts so bad every time.
100,000 times. So I stopped putting it back up.
Now it just sits in
And
the
now,
sink.
yeah, it'll either be like on the little like shelves above the toilet or like over by the sink or on top of the trash can or something. We need to get one of those stands, basically.
Oh God! But then it would fall over everywhere.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess over. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
I don't care that much.
Oh, I'm very for over.
All right.
Like if you guys said under, I probably would have just like ended this
Interesting.
immediately. I imagine like spiders, like if it's hanging the other way, like just getting in. I guess they could the other way, but still.
That's all right.
You know?
Yeah, that's why bugs.
We got like a trashy answer.
No.
Throwing curveballs.
Yeah.
That's why you guys are so
exactly.
cool with the K.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of toilet paper, these are just leading in.
All right.
Andrew O99 said, Fiberstream equals small. Do you have to be alone inside when you take care of business?
No.
It's preferable, for sure.
Well, I mean, we got a door.
That doesn't do much for smell, though. Like, the fantastic vent definitely has to be on. 2 windows open, circulating.
Music on, TV show
Well,
on.
for Kyle,
It's
I'm a
different
little
for
less
girls.
shy. I'm like,
You tell me.
you're
You say.
one.
You
Yeah.
tell me. You say put something on.
Because you always do it, so it makes me insecure. And I'm like,
That's surprising. I would have thought that
I don't know.
Yeah.
the girl that
Yeah,
would be like,
no,
turn everything
Kyle's the
on.
shy pooper.
I am.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
Getting into the
Olivia
details.
gets mad when I don't do it in public places and use our composting toilet
I
instead.
know. 'Cause
I'm
I
like,
try to
no,
be
I have a toilet in the
considerate.
camper.
I try to be considerate
Yeah.
and do it outside of the rig if
Yeah.
possible because it is close quarters. And Kyle like much prefers being like in our own space, which I get. But
I'm with you on
there's-
that. Yeah.
Be- And like because it is a composting toilet, like it takes a minute until like you crank it and then it like gets
Smells
better.
earthy in there.
Yeah, and then it dissipates. But it's
Yeah.
like there's just nothing you can do about it really.
In our
Yeah.
Airstream, it'll be different. The
Yeah, we'll
smell
have a lot
won't-
more
yeah.
distance.
Mhm.
There's like maybe 4 feet from the bathroom to the bed.
You're pretty much smelling it right out
So
the
like,
Yeah.
you're like, you might as well be standing at the door, like, what's going on in there?
Okay, well, good. I'm
Yeah.
glad that you made the Airstream floor plan a little more giving.
We were thinking about putting the toilet in the middle for a moment there.
Yeah, I'm glad they're on
I know.
opposite ends,
Yeah.
like the
Good.
seating area and the bathroom area, and we'll actually like have somewhere to walk to now.
Totally.
Like, I don't know. That's new. We don't have
Yeah.
like floor space to like
Yeah.
walk
You
around.
can walk
We
somewhere.
literally get up, turn around, and like either leave or get back in bed.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Freeway Flippers asked, what influenced you to renovate an Airstream, and do you have any regrets?
Our bank account influenced us to do that.
Yeah, we couldn't afford to buy our dream rig, but we could afford to like build our dream rig
Mhm.
basically. So it saved us a lot of money. Like everyone's always like, "Why didn't you buy a new Airstream?" And I was like, "Well, when we looked at them, they're like $100,000 for a new Airstream, and I don't have that laying around." So we spent $2,000 on a gutted one that we could build out exactly the way we wanted it with all the specifications that we've learned over time on the road that
Yeah.
were important to us.
We probably have like $7,000 in it right now, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah. For a tenth of the cost.
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
getting
and
your
no-
dream rig, yeah.
No debt in the rig.
Yeah.
We'll probably get a little bit with the truck, but try to keep it as low
Yeah.
as possible.
I've been enjoying watching your progress, so.
Oh, well,
but do you
thank
have
you.
any regrets from it?
No
Or
regrets.
No
Okay.
regrets at all. Like, I'm so glad that we have taken on this project and we learned so much. I feel like so much more confident in like my skills and being able to like build things. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, like I'm pretty like good at like building stuff.
Yeah.
Like who knew? I never like actually have like experimented with that before. So, I mean, I think we've gained a lot of knowledge. I don't ever
Yeah.
want to do it again.
No, but I always tell Olivia, she does not agree with me on this, but I feel like I'm doing it for the reputation of millennials. It's like, I want to show everyone that millennials are happy to put in hard work
Yeah.
and learn how to do things that are outside their
Yeah.
comfort zone.
And we don't know how to do everything, and we're not experts,
Yeah.
but we're willing to try and figure it out.
Well, you're doing well for us, because then we're on the other spectrum. Like, bought everything and did it
Well, that's
super
good.
lazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
put on
no.
some.
We're not
Put on
well,
some
we
sticky
worked hard.
tiles.
Yeah.
and
Had we
stressed
had the
out.
means to,
Yeah.
we probably would have done that
Yeah.
as well. But
We
Yeah.
we just don't want to come across as like the dirty I guess, or hippies, I should say. Dirty hippies.
Yeah.
Yeah, no slurs.
I know.
Yes.
I'll bleep it out.
Thank you.
The dirty beep.
Yeah.
That'll be better.
Yes, yeah. What did he say?
You'll never know. Okay, so the glamping guys asked 4 questions total. We already answered 2 of them, so they also wanted to know, what is your spirit animal?
I think for me, it's like a wolf, maybe.
Oh, see, I feel like mine's a dog.
Oh.
So I'm the
Oh.
domesticated
that
version of
rare
it.
version is so same.
You know what? That
Plain,
makes a lot of
just
sense. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, I'm kind of an introvert, like the whole lone wolf thing.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, I get really amped up at night. Like,
Yeah.
I could be like, sleep all day and then wake up and be kind of like lazy. And my energy like kicks in when Kyle's ready to go to bed. And he's like, can you just bring it down a few notches? And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I like want to do something. I'm like so energetic. So I'm like,
And I like being pet and fed.
Yeah, you like being domesticated.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
he likes treats a lot too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
treats.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
I'll perform
now.
for treats, all right?
Okay, I'm very pleased with these questions from the glamping guys. Okay, and then their last question is, what's your favorite movie, musical, actor? I don't know if you have to pick one
Oh,
of
we
each,
could
or
pick
you can
one of
answer
each,
all of
maybe?
them.
I have a movie and musical.
Okay.
So I love Moulin Rouge. It was like my
Yeah,
fave
that's
for a
good.
long time. I
Yeah.
would like watch it on repeat, knew all the songs, was obsessed. I mean, I still love it, but I've probably watched it so many times now that like I'm trying to give it a little break.
Yeah.
Actor, I don't really know if I have a favorite actor off the top of my head.
So I guess my movie is totally lame. It's either Blow or The Shawshank Redemption. It's like very
Okay.
No,
typical
those are
duty
those are
movies.
good. Yeah, those
I
those
think
are
a
good
lot of
movies.
people
Yeah,
like
yeah.
both of those
Yeah.
movies.
My favorite musical is called The Last 5 Years, but they made a movie of that, which I don't like at all. But
Okay.
the songs of it are really awesome off Broadway.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite actors, I'll take a lot of grief for this, but I love Tom Cruise. I have to say it.
Well, I think a lot of people like Tom
Yeah,
Cruise.
Yeah.
because one of my other favorite actresses is Katie Holmes.
Oh,
I
okay.
know, so I'm like, oh my
Oh,
gosh.
no, you
yeah,
have
this-
to pick one or the other now.
Well, Katie Holmes all day long.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
good for them when they were together.
Good for them.
Yeah.
You were very excited.
I
Yeah.
was. It was a very good time in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of any other movies off the top of my head. I feel like there's so much like coming out, like I'm just like overwhelmed with all the newness that I can't like even remember off the top of my head.
Hocus Pocus.
I mean, that's a classic, obviously.
Doesn't
Every
love that.
Halloween
Yeah.
you have to watch that.
Yeah.
I used to be obsessed with Fight Club as well.
Fight
like,
Club,
that's
Moulin
all,
Rouge
yeah.
and Fight Club, like
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
very contradicting like person,
Yeah.
but I would like have those two movies
Yeah.
like with me at all times. I would like go to my friend's house and like,
Mm.
hey, you wanna watch either one of these? And they're like, whoa.
Let's get something in the middle.
Yeah.
Either one. Nothing else.
Yeah, these are your options.
All right, well, those are all of the questions that were submitted. So first of all, thank you for everyone who submitted them. This was really fun,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that people didn't stick to just RV-related
Yeah.
questions. And second of all, thank you, A, for doing this with us. We really appreciate it. But B, thanks for taking us boondocking and making sure that we don't die.
Well, you guys have like had no problem
Totally.
at all so
Yeah.
far, so I don't know what you were worried about.
Yeah.
Well, except eating it, like when I fell.
Oh,
That-
that's
Oh, that's
true.
all right. That
But
can
that's
happen
not
anywhere.
boondocking.
That can
That's
happen
just
anywhere.
typical. Yeah, it does happen anywhere actually. But being on the desert rocks made it worse.
Thank you all for having us out.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
fun. I really enjoyed all of the questions.
Okay,
I was
good.
pleasantly surprised.
Shout out to Glamping Guys. We'd like to see you
Yeah.
comment on our channel one of these days. We've been missing you
I
lately.
know,
so.
where have you been?
Called out. You better comment. You better go comment on every video they released like the last month.
All right, thanks again. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to join the Getaway Gang. We'll see you next time. Bye guys.
Okay, let's
Cool.
open those windows.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks again. And how do we close it out? I did this
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. Okay. Take
We're
time.
not recording yet. Oh yeah, we are.
Alright.
Do it with my hands.
Not with my hands.
Relax, not too relaxed. What's the vibe that you're trying to?
This is good.
Alright, cool. Let's do it.
I don't like being closest to the camera.
I know.
So,
Take one for the team. It's all right.
yeah, thanks. Just don't lean over too far.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And look comfortable
Yeah,
while you're
suck
sucking
in.
in.
Exactly. Ready?
Oh.
Excuse you.
Carmen.
Sorry, she's very gassy.
That's okay.
And we're here with Kyle and Olivia from Drivin and Vibin. I'm sure you recognize these people. And Carmen is going to be not keeping us company. You're gonna be my girl. You just farted. I can smell it already. I'm sorry. Oh, stinky dog. I'm gonna air that out.